Hello and welcome to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. My name is Issachar Bey. I am the director, and want to thank all of you for tuning in this Sunday for our weekly teaching. I want to thank also all of you for your consistent feedback, letting us know how these lectures, how these teachings are beneficial to you and how they're helping you and giving you great insight and helping you with a lot of things that you guys are dealing with in your personal lives. And so I want to say thank you. If this is your first time listening in to us today, please let us know what city, what state, what country you're listening in from. Also, if you can do us a favor, everybody, please hit the like button. What it does is it helps us raise and move up the levels of our algorithm so people like yourself will be available to have access to this information and to these teachings. Also, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. We are on a mission to get to our 1,000 subscribers. So we want to thank all of you for your obedience and helping us out on that journey. I also want to thank all of you who have consistently been with us every Sunday, same place, same time. Those of you that have shared this channel, those of you that have let other people know, hey, you got to come over here and listen to this guy. He's really dropping some profound wisdom, some profound insights, and we are forever grateful. I have a lot that I want to get into today as we continue in our series I call Mind Therapy. And when I talk about mind therapy, I think that it's an inclusive understanding of how when we get our minds together, when we realign our minds and restructure and reset our mindsets, things in our lives will begin to reset. Things in our lives will begin to move and elevate and begin to go forward. So I want to let all of you know that I am forever grateful for everything that you guys are doing for us. I want you to know how much we are grateful for that. And so I want to thank all of you. Listen, I want you to go ahead and get in a comfortable position, and I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale. I turn within to the infinite source, the divine mind, the endless wellspring of creative expression and unlimited supply. This presence is abundance itself, and it never withholds. It is the giver of ideas, the source of wisdom, and the power behind every inspired action. I know that I am one with this source, and all that is, I am. I affirm now that my passion is divine currency. It is the spark of God within me, the call of my soul made manifest in action. It is not separate from supply, it is supply. My passion is not a hobby, not a distraction, not something to be buried beneath fear. It is my assignment, my offering, and my wealth. I declare that my passion is a paycheck. The things I love to do, the gifts I was born with, the fire that lives within me, they are not accidents. They are my provision. They are my prosperity. I no longer separate joy from income, fulfillment from finance, or purpose from profit. I bring all of me to the table of life, and life pays me in full. I release this word into divine law, knowing that every step I take in the direction of my true calling is met with increased opportunity and overflow. I walk boldly, I serve joyfully, I create freely, and I receive abundantly. My passion is my paycheck, and it is paid in full by the hand of spirit. And so it is, and so it is. Once again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in to today's teaching. Once again, I want to encourage all of you. We are still in the month of June. We're in the month We're in that middle month. We're in the mid-year. I call this the middle of the year. And those of you that want to schedule a consultation, the link is in below. Please do so. We had quite a few consultations this week of people who have been just newly introduced into the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. And so we want to thank all of you. And people are finding their purpose in life. People are getting a sense of direction. People are getting a sense of wholeness, a sense of notoriety, of saying, I know who I am. I know why I was put on this earth. I know what gifts, what things that I have to offer, and how to create the life that I want to create. And so I want to offer you guys that opportunity as well. Today, I want to go into a subject. I want to talk about today. Your passion is your paycheck. Your passion is your paycheck. Let's go into our story today, and let's talk about that. You know, when I hear that word, passion is my paycheck, you know, it's really a profound statement, because what it insinuates is that what I'm passionate about, I can also be paid. There is a financial reciprocation in that. There is a connection between what my passion is and also the opportunity for money to flow. And I think that it's a really profound statement, but I believe everybody who can hear this, everybody who's listening, I believe that it applies to you. Yes, everyone that can hear this, it applies to you. Your passion equals your paycheck. It was just 3:00 in the morning when Lisa sat upright in her twin-size bed, her heart pounding louder than the neighbor's old stereo downstairs, the kind of pounding that doesn't come from fear, but from calling. The city around her was asleep, but her soul had clocked in. She swung her legs over the side of the bed and stared into the darkness of her one-bedroom apartment. You could never see every wall. You could see every wall from the mattress. She lived above the storefront with rusting security bars and a flickering street lamp that buzzed like an overworked beehive. Her phone charger sparked when you plugged it in. Her fridge groaned like it needed prayer. Her rent was 2 weeks behind. And yet that night, despite every excuse to crumble, something lit up inside of her. A flame, not a forest, just a spark, but enough. Lisa had always been that girl, creative, expressive, the one who could braid a stranger's hair in a church basement and leave them looking like they stepped out of a salon. The one who made custom birthday cards that made grown men cry. But life didn't care about gifts, at least not at first. At 33, she had a dead-end job at a call center, a boss who barely knew her name, and a schedule that stole her best hours for pennies. She made just enough to stay behind. Her friends used to call her the passionate one. Now they call her busy, too busy surviving to thrive. But that night, 3:14 a.m., something broke, or better yet, opened. She got out of the bed, sat on her milk crate desk chair, and pulled out an old sketch pad. It had dust on the corners, ink stains in the spine, but her hand knew what to do. She drew until her wrist burned. She braided mannequins' heads. She tucked in the closet. She watched YouTube tutorials not to distract herself, but to remind herself. She wasn't just creative, but she was also called. The next morning, she didn't clock in. She called out to her shift. Not because she was sick, because she was finally well. She got on Instagram Live with 11 followers and showed people how to do 3-strand goddess braids on a mannequin. She stumbled, she stammered, she laughed too much, she sweated through her tank top. But when she logged off, 3 people messaged her asking if she did hair professionally. And something clicked, not just in her head, but in her spirit. Lisa spent the next 30 days choosing passion over purpose. Passion on purpose. No job, no plan B, just prayer, peace, and pure inner fire. She walked to the library and designed a flyer. She printed 20. She taped them to light poles and corner stores. She offered $25 braiding specials on Saturday. She washed hair in her kitchen sink. She took photos of on her cracked iPhone and posted them with captions. Creating beauty from the inside out. Every time she thought, this ain't enough, a new client booked. Every time she doubted herself, someone said, girl, you got a gift. One day, a woman walked in, sat in Lisa's chair, and whispered, I work with an agency that books stylists for constant work. Could I send them your info? Lisa blinked twice. She wanted to say, I'm not ready, but instead she smiled and said, absolutely. 2 weeks later, she was styling hair for a local documentary school. They paid her $100, more than she had ever made in a week at the call center. They paid her $400, more than she had ever made in a week from working at the call center. She cried in the Uber ride home, not because of the money, but because it felt like she finally said yes to her soul. 6 months later, Lisa wasn't rich, but she was alive, fully, wildly, unapologetically. She ran a small at-home salon. She coached teenage girls on finding their creative voice. She sold handmade cards and hair accessories at a local pop-up shop. She led a monthly passion circle on Zoom where women confessed they were tired of surviving their own lives. And every time she wanted to shrink back, to play small, to go back to just enough, she remembered that night at 3:14 a.m., the whisper, the moment, the knowing. Your passion is your paycheck. Not because it made her rich overnight, but because it paid her in power, in purpose, and eventually in provision. She didn't hustle from crumbs anymore. She created from her soul. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa is like you and me. Lisa is like you and me. Many of you who are listening to me right now, you may be working a 9 to 5, and you're getting paid just enough not to quit. And you are not happy with the job that you have. The job that you have is not your career. It's a job that helps you to maintain, to live, to pay bills, to maintain your livelihood. And so we find ourselves in a paradox. We find ourselves because we all want to be happy. We all want to be overjoyed. We all want to have this life of abundance. Who would not love to have a life where the gift that has been put inside of you begins to also take care of you? The Bible says that a man's gift will make room for him and bring him before many men. Your gift will put you in a position to where your gift will make room for you. I don't care how many artists out there. I don't care how many drawers, how many screenwriters, how many movie producers, how many rappers, R&B singers, gospel singers. Your gift will make room for you. Passion isn't about hype. It's not the butterflies in your stomach. It's not the adrenaline. Passion is the divine code for your assignment. It is the thing you would still do if no one paid you. But that will pay you if you honor it. Let me say that again. Passion is the divine code of your assignment. Passion. It is the thing you would still do if nobody paid you. If you weren't getting paid, this is something that you're so passionate about, that you love about. This is something that fire that burns within you, of something that you just love to do, that sets you on fire. You would do it even if you didn't pay. Nobody paid you. But because you did it, it itself will pay you because you honored it. You honored the fire, the burning, the yearning of wanting to do this thing. I define passion as it's the soul's signal, a sacred fire placed in your spirit to remind you why you came here, why you came into this inclination. It is the universal language of purpose. It is what you naturally express, why, what you can't suppress, or what, if buried, will show up as depression. You mean to tell me that there are a lot of people out here walking around that are depressed? And the reason they could be depressed is because they buried their passion? Are you really telling me this? So are you telling me that some people who are walking around depressed could in fact be depressed because they buried their passion, the thing that gave them something to live for, the thing that woke them up in the morning, the thing that allowed them to stay alive and feel vibrant? That very thing was the very thing that they buried, they hide, they wanted to separate themselves from, and because of that, it turned into depression. Passion is a calling that becomes a compass. And that compass is always points towards your provision. My passion will always take care of me, and I will always take care of my passion. Somebody might be listening to this and saying, I hear what you're saying. I hear the story about Lisa, and Lisa was gifted. She was gifted to do hair. She was gifted to braid. She came with that gift. But I want you to know that passion is not selective. Somebody could say, well, how many people have passion, and what kind of people have passion? Everybody has passion, including you. Yes, you too. Not just the artists, the singers, the pets, the poets, the dancers, the singers. What are you passionate about? Somebody here might be passionate about systems, spreadsheets, helping people heal, organizing homes, baking pies, cleaning. There's something inside of you that you're passionate about. What makes you come alive? That's what That's what makes you divine. You were born encoded with your paycheck inside your passion. It's been encoded in you. And when you tap into your passion, ladies and gentlemen, you activate the paycheck. Somebody says, well, this is a great message. I wish I would have heard this 10, 15 years ago. When does passion show up? How did you activate it? When does it show up? Let me tell you something. Passion doesn't always arrive wrapped in clarity. Sometimes it shows up as something that's annoying you, something that's bothering you. You're tired of your job. That's passion knocking. You're drained from your relationship. That's passion saying there's more to life than this. Passion often visits you as restlessness, not revelation. It shows up when you hit a wall. You've outgrown your environment. You can't fake it no more. Your soul's volume gets louder than your logic. Your agitation is often your intuition. Pay attention. You have to understand that when you feel restlessness, when you feel like, oh man, I'm tired of this job, I'm tired of doing this, this is not me. You have to force yourself to go to work. You have to force yourself to get up. You have to force yourself to do this because you have obligations, you have responsibilities, and you understand that by going to this 9-to-5 job, working 40 plus hours a week, this is going to allow me to maintain the livelihood I have, my kids, my family, my spouse. But I don't feel that I'm living life to the fullest. I don't believe that I'm living my best life. I don't believe that I'm living the best version. I'm becoming the best version of myself. I believe that there's something greater out there for me. I believe that life has to be better than this. Just to go to work, come home to pay bills, go to work, come home, pay bills, watch TV, go to work, come home, pay bills, watch TV, go to work, come home, pay bills, go out periodically with my friends, maybe hang out with the family. There has to be more than life than this. I don't think that I was born to pay bills, to go to work and come home. I believe that I was created to enjoy life, to create the life that I wanted. I believe that there's a gift, there's a talent in me. And I believe that the gift and the talent that's in me will allow me to, uh, you know, begin to serve humanity. I've always told people this. Shakespeare said that life is a stage, and the people in your life are merely the players in the play, in the drama of your life. And what I believe is that everybody who's listening to me right now, you were born with a gift, you were born with a talent. You were given a gift and a talent so that you can serve humanity, which means you need to get out of the seat of the drama of life and get on stage. See, many of us are not utilizing our gifts and our talents. We're sitting down in the audience of the drama of life when we need to get up and go on stage where we can now serve humanity with our gifts and our talents. Your passion is connected to your gift, to your talent. That's why I constantly encourage all of you to get a consultation. Some of you may be lost. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know why I'm born. I went through a lot. I've been adopted. I don't know who my real parents are. I don't know where I came from. I don't know my family heritage. I don't know anything. And so I feel lost because I have no sense of identity. I don't know where my lineage goes, my history. And so I just connect to the people that love me, the people that give me attention, the people that love on me. Those are the people I gravitate towards. And so I've never been forced to identify and to really connect with my passion. Many of us have never even been. Some of you that are hearing this message now may say, nobody's never told me to really connect and go after my passion. I've just gone through life as life flows. Life goes to the left, we go to the left. Life moves to the right, we move to the right. I've never had anybody to tell me that my passion is my paycheck, not my 9 to 5, not me working 3 jobs, not me, doing all of these things on the side and the side hustles and trying to get this going and that going and just overworking myself just to make ends meet, just to survive. But all the time, you mean to tell me that within me, my passion was really what I needed to tap into, because I understood that what makes me excited. Many of us, life set in and responsibility set in. So a lot of us have put that passion to the side. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to be very careful. We just talked about this, that by burying your passion can be an indication of you beginning to experience depression. We don't want to bury that passion. We want to lift it up. We want to pull it back up again from being buried, and we want to begin to connect with it. Why does passion equal my paycheck? Because energy attracts energy. When you move in your gift, you activate the law of circulation. You pour joy out into the world, and the universe has to return it in its kindness and likeness. People don't pay you for time, they pay you for transformation. When you operate in passion, your energy is magnetic, your quality is authentic, your solutions come with spirit, you multiply time by stepping into flow. See, when you work at a job, they work you by the hour. You get paid by the hour. You work it out. You work 8 hours a day. You work 40 hours a week. You get paid for the time. Some of you who are on salary, you get a certain salary, but you have a certain schedule that you work. But when you move into the position of passion and you connect with your passion, then you're no longer getting paid by time, but by transformation. Because guess what? Lisa was charging $25 when she started, and then she began to get the $400, and then she began to charge more. But what happens is Lisa wasn't paying you for your time. She's paying you for the outcome, the transformation of you coming to me one way, and when you leave, you're totally different than how you came in. And that's what your passion does. Everybody listening to me here, you have a passion. There's something inside of you that you love to do, that burns within you, that you would do for free, something that you just love to do. It just lights you up when you do it. You learn more about it. You gravitate towards it. Life is pushing you in that direction. But you look at it as a hobby. You look at it as something that you just do on the side. But you don't realize that it's passionate. And that passion in you is actually the burning. I often look at passion as a candle that should never be blown out, that continues to burn. When you understand passion, Passion, listen to this, not only transforms the people, but it also transforms you. Remember, when passion equals your paycheck, when you begin to tap in and use your passion, it allows the money to flow. Because you honored passion, you realize that passion was encoded in you. Everybody has a different passion. My passion has always been to help transform people's lives. Even at a young age, I've always spoken to their lives, always was very motivational, very inspirational. People would come to me feeling one way, but then when they left, they felt totally something different. Why? Because of the passion I had in which I would do what I'm doing for free. I come on here every Sunday and I begin to teach these wisdom truths, these lessons of life, these golden nuggets. I don't charge anybody anything because it's my passion. And so when you understand your passion, what you love to do, what brings you on fire, I love to teach this kind of stuff. I love to teach every week. I love to connect with each one of you. Your passion will always be connected to your gift and your talent. Those who are listening to me, you're very talented. You're very gifted. And somewhere down the life, you may have buried your gift. You may have buried your talent. But I want to summons you today to go back and find it and dig it up and begin to start working with your passion, working with your gift, working with your talent. Passion equals purpose. Purpose equals alignment. Alignment equals abundance. I'm going to say that again. Passion equals purpose. Purpose equals alignment. Alignment equals abundance. Anybody who's ever thought to themselves, what is my purpose in life? I've given you the equation. Your passion is equal to your purpose. What are you passionate about? Well, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I like to do a little bit of this. I like to do a little bit of that. You know, I don't necessarily know. You know, I'm passionate about a lot of things. You know, I love, you know, making little objects and ornaments. I like to paint. I like to draw. I like to sing. I like to dance. I have so many things that I'm passionate about. Well, in that thing, begin to write them down. Begin to write down the things that you're passionate about. To get to write down the things that you love to do that you would do for free. The things that light you up, the things that set you on fire, the things that make you wake up in the morning. Begin to work with those passions because your passions equal your purpose. And once you tap into your purpose now brings you into alignment. Remember that word alignment. It's very powerful. Alignment now brings you into abundance. Everything must be on alignment. Anybody's ever had a dresser drawer and you open the dresser drawer and the dresser drawer fell off alignment. And when it fell off alignment and you tried to close the drawer, it doesn't close because it wasn't aligned. So now you got to align the dresser drawer back on, put it back in alignment. And once it's in alignment, you can open and close it with ease, with no problem at all. Same thing in life, ladies and gentlemen. Alignment is very important. So when we say passion is your paycheck, that sounds good, but there's a lot in between that needs to be worked out as well. Because my passion is my paycheck, but I also need to be in alignment. Because if I'm not in alignment, that abundance, that money will not flow back to me because I was never in alignment. Passion is not a hobby. It is heaven's investment in you. Heaven's investment in you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about this next week, about heaven's investment in you. I want to talk about, as we'll get into that. I started to do it this week, but Spirit moved me a different way with this. I think that somebody needs to hear this message today, because I wasn't going to talk about this, but it just kind of came into me, and I began to really put it together, and it fell together really nice. What do I do effortlessly? What could I teach, build, create without getting bored? What drains me versus what feeds me? These are questions that we need to ask each other. There's so many people I come into contact with that don't know their purpose. But one of the reasons why you don't know your purpose is because you haven't connected with your passion. And so that's why I believe that this message is extremely important. And listen, if you're listening to this right now and you know anybody in life that's lost, please send them this message. Your passion will always be connected to your purpose. What I love is what I'm wired for. What do you love? Some of you love to cook. Some of you love to cook and say, you know what, there's millions of people on YouTube who are cooking on videos, and they're already doing that. You know, nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody's going to watch my video. Who told you that? Remember, your gift makes room for you and brings you before great men. Listen, your gift will make room for you. No matter how many people on YouTube are doing the same thing that you have a passion for, you're not them. Everybody is an original. You are created to be an original in what you do, and what you do is not what somebody else does. The way you fry chicken and show people how to fry chicken can be totally different than how Bobby Flay and how all the other Wolfgang Puck and all the other ones who are on TV cooking chicken do. The way you make chocolate chip cookies could be totally different than how Martha Stewart makes chocolate chip cookies. But what's passionate, the thing that I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that what's passionate, that thing that's passionate inside of you, is the thing that was encoded in you. Some of you are great designers. You can go into a house and design it from top to bottom. That's a passion. That's a gift. People get paid millions of dollars to design stuff, to design houses, and to design stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, your passion is your purpose. Many of you are sitting on millions and millions of dollars because you buried your passion. You've buried your passion. There's some of you that love to speak, love to talk. There's some of you that have a great insight into certain genres in life. And whatever your passion is, whatever wakes you up in the morning, whatever, as they say, whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you up, whatever gets you going, whatever keeps you up, the thing that you would stay up 10, 11 hours a day to work to do and wouldn't get tired, and just because of the love of it, and then go to sleep and wake up and do another 10, 11 hours. Why? Because something that you're passionate about, it keeps that fire burning. Before you can walk in passion, you must walk in silence. And what I mean by walking in silence is this. Before I can walk in my passion, you're going to walk in silence, but you're going to silence some things out of your life. The things that you're going to silence, you're going to silence shame. Who do you think you are to do this? You're going to silence comparisons. They already did it better than me. You're going to silence perfectionism. It has to be perfect first. You're going to silence Procrastination. I'll start later. These are the things that you have to silence before you can fully walk into your passion. Many of you are ashamed for whatever reason because you feel like maybe I'm not good enough. There's so many other people who are doing it that are better than me. No, listen, whatever your purpose is in life, whatever your passion is in life, and you feel like there's people who are better than you, that's the people you need to study. You study those who have gone to do the thing that you are passionate about. You learn from them. You don't fear them. You don't envy them. You're not jealous of them, but you learn from them. You don't compare yourself to them because they're different. You can't compare. Everybody's an original. Everybody's made different. Everybody talking to me right now, we all got different fingerprints. Nobody has the same fingerprints. We're all different. You're different. So you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to somebody else. And you can't worry about perfectionism because nobody is perfect. Yes, we all striving to be good. We never teach here at the Temple of Enlightenment and Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. We never teach you to be perfect. We show you and assist you how to become the best version of yourself. But we never said that there's a such thing as perfectionism. And then you want to also look at procrastination. Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Start right now. I release fear in change for flow. I release doubt in exchange for destiny. If you do hair, you can teach others. If you bake, you can start a pop-up or a course. If you organize, you can coach others. Gift plus service plus offer equals income. Package your passion. How do you package it? Once again, here's the formula, ladies and gentlemen. Your gift plus service plus offer equals income. Your gift plus the service. What does that mean? That means my gift that I'm offering to the world, that I'm servicing the world with. I'm letting the world know that I have this gift and it's for service. Whatever it is, whatever my gift is, I want you to know that I'm servicing the world. Those who need this, I'm servicing it. And this is my offer. This is my offer of me servicing my gift. And once you do the gift plus the service plus the offer, ladies and gentlemen, it brings in the income. Your passion is your paycheck. Take what you love, turn it into a service, package it into an offer, and exchange it for income. Let me say that again. Those of you who are listening, I feel that so many people need to share this message today. Take what you love, turn it into a service, package it into an offer, and exchange it for income. This is a divine marriage to your higher self. Block out 1 day, 1 hour a day to serve your gift. Study the people who have turned their passion into provision. Invest in tools. Trust slow growth because it's sacred. Passion plants, purpose waters, but consistency is what grows the tree. Your passion plants, your purpose waters, but your consistency is what grows the tree. When you start talking about passion and purpose, there are a few things I want to look at here. The law of vibration. What you do in passion raises your frequency. High frequency attracts opportunity. You don't chase, you magnetize. That's very important, ladies and gentlemen. Your passion equals your paycheck. What that means is when you start operating in your passion and you raise your frequency, the higher the frequency, you start to attract opportunities. What happened was Lisa began to raise, she began to operate in her passion, and it raised her frequency. When it raised her frequency, she was charging $25, but as the frequency began to raise, she now, guess what, got an opportunity to make $400. She didn't chase the money, she magnetized it. The law of divine timing. Passion puts you in divine rhythm. It is always fast, but it is always on the right time. The law of reciprocity. When you pour from your authentic gift, the world pours back into you. I always tell people this, and it's a true story. There was a man who had money in his pocket. He took the money in his pocket and he began to put it in his head. He began to buy books, courses, one-on-one counseling and coaching, and he began to he took that money and put it in his head. His brain, in return, put the money back in his pocket. The law of reciprocity. When you pour from your authentic gift, the world will pour back into you. There is also the law of the mental equivalence. You can't manifest wealth until you mentally believe your gift has value. You can't manifest wealth until you mentally believe your gift has value. Remember the silence we talked about a few minutes ago? You silencing the shame, silencing the comparison, silencing the perfectionism. When you begin to silence those things out, you begin to now believe the value of your gift and say, you know what, I'm good as this person is too. And even if you believe that you can do something better than them, it's not that you can do it better, you're doing it different because you're an original. The law of cause and effect comes into place when we deal with purpose and passion. Your passionate action creates a passionate result. Every inspired step causes ripples in the unseen. The passion. There are a lot of myths out there. You know, there are a lot of myths, a lot of myths. And what I mean by myths, I mean a lot of things where people are saying you can't make money doing what you love. You make money by solving problems with love. You know, they say that passion fades. And I say no, motivation fades, passion evolves. Some people may say you need connections. I say no, you need clarity. When you show up in truth, the right connections find you. I will no longer abandon my joy for a job description. I like that one right there. I will no longer abandon my joy for a job description. The joy, somebody saying, I love to travel, man. It really does it for me. Just to be able to travel the world, that's your passion. And you need to work on that. You need to tap into that. I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to travel the world and allow your passion to be your paycheck, where you can meet people from all walks of life, begin to study multiple cultures, begin to really get entrenched in this world as we know. I think it's a beautiful thing. I believe that passion creates more than just money. I believe that passion creates the energy that can heal you. I believe that it creates an alignment that attracts your tribe. I believe that it creates ideals that birth innovation. I believe that it creates time that feels like expansion. I also believe that it creates the joy that sustains momentum. Abundance is isn't just financial, it's full spectrum fulfillment. See, when you start moving in your passion, you start feeling fulfilled. And what that means is when you start tapping into that burning feeling, that burning sensation, that burning, that yearning, that thing that makes you wake up, the thing that keeps you going, you are not really concerned. Things begin to change when you start operating in your passion because, listen, you can't see passion. You can feel it. You begin to understand it. You begin to come one with it, but you can't see passion. It's an intangible. An intangible thing. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that which is intangible is eternal. That which is tangible is temporary. And that's why passion is so important. If anybody's going to go and tap into to becoming passionate and beginning to align with their passion, you got to go within. We just talked about this last week, ladies and gentlemen. If I fail to go within, I must learn to live without. Well, what does that mean? That means if I do not want to go within to tap into my passion, then I can't be upset and angry that I didn't get to maintain a paycheck. My passion didn't give me my paycheck, or I'm still working a 9 to 5. I'm still working to help somebody else complete and control their passion. I'm helping somebody else to be in alignment with their passion when I've buried my passion. Some of you are saying, well, I'm a little older now. It's not like I used to be when I was younger. I've never seen an age requirement for passion. I've never seen that there was an age requirement. I never seen that there was an age cutoff. I don't remember seeing or hearing about anything connected to an age requirement or age cutoff when it comes to passion. I don't recall seeing that, which means I don't care what age you are, at any given age, you could always at that moment decide I'm going to begin to tap into my passion. When you live from passion, your days feel lovely. Your work feels sacred. You don't wait for weekends to breathe. You wake up blessed. You stop surviving. You start circulating divine currency. Your passion is your paycheck because your gift was never meant to be replicated. Your gift was never meant to be duplicated. You are an original. You are an original. Your gift was meant to be spiritual, energetical, financial, and transactional. You weren't given your gift just to get your gift. You were given your gift because there were systems to sustain them. When you move from your spirit, the universe writes checks in your name. Every random opportunity, every unexpected blessing, every person who says, I needed this, was divinely orchestrated to answer your obedience to passion. You are the product. You are the platform. You are the prophet. You are not just talented, you are transformational. And when you show up in truth, passion becomes purpose, purpose becomes prosperity, and prosperity becomes your divine lifestyle. It becomes your divine lifestyle. Your passion. What are you passionate about, ladies and gentlemen? When I look at myself, I begin to talk to myself all the time. I begin to say stuff like, I honor the fire within me. I am paid to be myself. Can you believe that? I am paid to be myself. My gift is valuable and necessary. I turn my purpose into provision. Passion flows through every project I launch. My gift makes room for me. My work is my passion. My passion opens the doors no man can close. I circulate abundance through my gift. My income reflects my inner alignment. I am no longer trying to fit in. My passion leads, my provision follows. Ladies and gentlemen, lead with your passion. I want you to walk away from today connected to your passion, tapping into your passion, finding out what your passion. When you start leading with your passion in life, there's some things that will take place. There's some things that will begin to change in your life when you start operating in your passion. You'll start getting more inner peace and mental wellness. Your creative flow and idea generation will begin to go to another level. You will begin to see authentic connections and aligned partnerships. And then one of the things that happens is when you start leading your life with your passion, remember, passion is connected to your frequency. When Lisa began to tap into, when Lisa began to lead with passion in her life, that's when she was able to magnetize the $400 job. But guess what happens? When you start leading with your passion, what happens is you begin to raise your higher income potential. Because you're leading with passion now, so your passion frequency has been elevated. And so what happens is you begin to create a higher income potential. Now listen to this. When you begin to start operating and leading your life with your passion, you begin to experience increased confidence and clarity. And what happens is the more you work with your passion, the more confidence you have in yourself, the more confidence you have in your gift and your talent, the more clarity you have. And you begin to understand, you begin to see now that by me continuing to work with my passion, it gives me the long-term legacy through my gifts. Ladies and gentlemen, your passion is your paycheck. I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. Listen, if this message has been beneficial to you, if this is something that you're saying, man, I really needed to hear this, I want you to share this with 5 of your friends, family members, loved ones, coworkers, somebody who you know may be struggling in life, somebody who you know that may be saying to themselves, I'm stuck. I really need to find direction in my life and find a place that I can move and evolve. And so I want you to begin to understand that as you continue to grow with your passion and continue to lock in. Now, listen, some of you may heard all of this stuff and say, hey, Issachar, all of this stuff sounds phenomenal. This sounds amazing. I hear everything that you're saying, but brother, I don't know what my passion is. I don't know what my gift is. I don't know what my talents are. Go ahead and look at the bottom of the description, click the link, and schedule a consultation with me. Let's sit down and talk and see what we can come up with. Let's see if we can go into your gift and your purpose, the reason why you were born into this incarnation. Let us see if we can find that passion that was encoded in you from the very beginning of time. And let us see if we can go in there and begin to now move and elevate our lives to another level, another potential, another exalted level of greatness. I want the next 6 months of this year to be far more better than the first 6 months. And if you're listening, I want the same thing for you. I want these next 6 months to be far more greater than the last 6 months of this year, which means I'm not just you, but I myself are going to even get more in tune with my passion, because I want my passion to be able to be raised to a higher level so that I can now get a higher financial potential. My passion will always be my paycheck. And so I want to give you guys, those of you that say you want to support this organization, you want to sow into this ministry, into this organization, there are 4 ways that you can give. We appreciate all the gifts. I always say bless the gift, but more importantly, bless the giver. We believe in circulation, being that the blessing will come back full circle to its original point of origin. And we speak it into existence that everybody who has ever sown, everybody who's ever put something into this ministry, that you will receive a 100-fold return, that everything you touch will be made manifest and be successful. And we speak it into existence, and so it is. And so there are 4 ways that you can give. The first way is going to be Cash App, which is going to be $TOESC. Also, the ways to give are also in the bottom of the description. Cash App will be the first way, $TOESC. Then we also have Zelle and Venmo. Our Zelle is going to be, and Venmo are going to be, our Zelle and our PayPal will be from the email address info@toesc.org. That's INFO, info@toesc.org. That email goes for Zelle and PayPal. If you also want to do Venmo, we have Venmo, which is going to be connected to our other email, which is Issachar Bey @gmail.com. That's going to be ISSACHARBEY @gmail.com. Issachar Bey @gmail.com is Venmo. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. This has been a great lesson. I know many of you will be blessed by this. And let's work with this week. Let's work on leading with our passion. Let's work in tapping into our passion. Some of you are saying to themselves, I'm tired of working on this job. I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over again. The stuff that I got to do to get my mind up, to get out of the bed, is unbelievable. To go to work these hours, it's really not part of my purpose. It's not part of my passion. And so I want my passion to be my paycheck. Ladies and gentlemen, you may go back and listen to this again, but I summoned you to begin to work with your passion. I want to say this one thing to you. Your destiny is not a matter of chance, but it is a matter of choice. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.